Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we got a phenomenal, talented individual right here on the line. He has taken over Canada, and you already know it's the one, the only, it's Dee Wile. How you doing this evening, brother?
Man, I'm chilling, I'm vibing. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, you're most certainly welcome, bro. I gotta say, man, once you started submitting your music, man, I started listening to more and more of it, man. You got that real artistic flow, man. I love it.
Oh, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. A lot of hip hop artists have to take notes off what you're doing, man, because the skinny jean, rainbow hair crap, man, really needs to step to the sidelines, man, because you're playing ball with the big dogs. Let me put it to you like that.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we just try to keep it underground and keep it real. It's reality rap, to be honest with you. Like you said, we got to put all the rainbow hair stuff to the side for a minute.
Hey, man, you already know, man, but I'm sure you probably already heard my other interviews, but how I always start things off, man, is I have to ask you, what made you decide to get into the music industry?
Oh, honestly, back around 2014, my brother actually passed away, and it just kind of made me open my eyes and made me really just want to take a chance and really chase my dreams, to be honest with you.
Hey, man, that's what's up. And when I said a few moments ago how you're really playing with the big dogs, man, I have to say, I also read that you have been recognized by major artists such as Too Short, man. I have to ask you, how does it feel to know that an artist as big as Too Short on the West Coast has recognized your music?
It's a great feeling, man. Even just finding that out that day, man, it take me back to just being so overjoyed. Just I always I was always I didn't grow up on Too Short, but I always watched his hustle, just being independent in the Bay Area. Him, E40, just that whole movement of just keeping it independent out the trunk with it, so to speak. And it just kind of it honestly helped me to influence myself and stay independent. So it was just a joyous feeling, to be honest with you, man. He's a legend.
Oh, man, most definitely. Have you had the opportunity to check out his song he did with Ice Cube? I think it got released around I think a little while ago, maybe last year or so. It's called I Ain't Got No Haters.
Oh, anytime Ice Cube drop a verse on anything, I gotta check it out. So, yeah, Too Short is a legend. Ice Cube is a legend. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, man. They cooked up some heat on that track, man. I gotta say, I think when it first dropped, that shit was on repeat, bro, like nonstop. It was kind of like it was the only single that ever existed for like a week in my household.
I feel that same way, man. Trust me, it stay on my playlist all the time.
And man, also yourself and VK Tunage actually released the EP Magic and Bird. I have to ask you, what was the inspiration behind that EP, and how did yourself and Tunage actually get connected?
Well, VK is my right hand man. To be honest with you, when I first got started in the music, he was the first person that I really locked in with, and he took me serious and just thought it was something different in me. So, he actually used to charge for studio time, and then he just stopped charging me. So our relationship changed right there. We just basically the concept of Magic and Bird came about with just me being African American, him being a Caucasian male. We just had that kind of back and forth rivalry, sort of like Magic and Bird did in the '80s, so to speak.
And man, I have to ask you, dude. Like, do you guys have any any projects in the works right now, or you guys just doing your solo bit?
Oh no, we actually working on a Magic and Bird Part 2. Actually, it's supposed to be dropping. We gonna try to drop it at the end of this year, hopefully. We just gotta work out some scheduling things, but if not this year, the top of 2021 for sure.
Hey man, that's what's up. Like I actually scoped out part one, man. I have to say you guys did a phenomenal job on it, man. So I am most definitely looking forward to a part two.
Um, it's a little something short and sweet, just to kind of tease the fans. It's really for the day one cousins that's just been rocking with us from, like I say, them real underground days, and they just kind of stuck with us. So if you haven't checked it out, please make sure y'all check it out. Magic and Bird on all streaming platforms right now.
And also tonight, man, right after the interview, you were actually dropping the video for your song "Ain't It Crazy." I have to ask you, what's the inspiration behind that amazing song? And of course, where can our listeners actually tune in and catch the video release?
Well, man, the first thing with the video release, it is gonna be delayed a little bit. That's my big announcement. You actually got the exclusive because I was just gonna post it on my social media here in about 30 minutes. But I did have to reschedule it. It's actually gonna be dropping Saturday night, man. Just a small delay here, just with the editing thing. But the inspiration came about just with 2020, man. I mean, just the start of this year, we lost Kobe Bryant in a helicopter accident. And then we started dealing with this coronavirus, and then we just started having all this social injustice, and it was just a crazy year. And I mean, we only, we 10 months in now, but at the top of the year, it was like, man, ain't it crazy everything that we dealing with? And that's just kind of the inspiration for the song. Like, I woke up every day and was just like, man, ain't it crazy? Then in my personal life, it's just, you know you as well, man. When you dealing with people, just sometimes people giving it to you and it ain't necessarily 100, and you just like, ain't it crazy this person telling me this and they expect me to believe it, but you still rock with it. So that's kind of how it came about.
And yeah, man, speaking of the Kobe Bryant situation, man, I couldn't believe, you know what I mean, that Kobe Bryant passed like that, man. Like,
Yeah.
in every basketball fan's eyes, he is a god.
Oh my goodness, man! When I say that's the person who inspired me to actually fall in love with basketball. Like, I remember being 6, 7 years old, and Kobe with the Flo was going up against AI in the '01 finals or whatever. So just to see him go out like that, man, it broke my heart. I mean, I feel like everybody lost a family member that day.
Well, I most definitely agree, man. I remember when I was a kid, man. I'm Canadian, as you already know, so like I'm a huge Raptors fan, but I wanted to be just like Kobe Bryant, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to, like, when I was a kid, I used to play basketball in my front yard, pretend I was Kobe, even though I'm whiter than vanilla ice. But you know what I mean. Everybody wanted to be like Kobe Bryant.
More, you weren't the only one, man. I trust you. Kobe had everybody out there, doing the fadeaway, doing the crossover, trying to be like Mike. I mean, you're not the only one, man.
Hey, man, I first and foremost got to say, man, rest in paradise to Kobe Bryant, man.
Oh,
he might be passed
absolutely.
away, but he is never, ever going to be forgotten.
Absolutely. As well as to his daughter and the people that also lost their lives in that helicopter crash. I don't want to, let them go unnoticed as well.
Exactly, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I didn't know there was that many people in the helicopter. I thought it was only Kobe and his daughter, man, because the media didn't really, shed any light on anybody else that was in there.
Absolutely. That's the crazy part about it as well. The other people, like, again, it was like 7, 8 other people in there, but, the celebrity of Kobe and his daughter kind of just overshadowed their death as well, which, that is unfortunate for the family because, again, people lost, husbands, mothers, daughters, sons, so it is still a loss.
And also, man, you are the CEO and artist of February's Finest Records. I have to ask you, what's the story behind the formation of that record label? And of course, man, who do you currently have signed under you?
Well, VK, first and foremost, it kind of came together with me. That's just something that I always, like I said, going back to the E40, days, I always looked up to people who had their own movement, whether it was E40, whether it was Too Short, whether it was Master P, anybody who I just respected independent. So that was kind of, my movement from day one. I always wanted to be February's Finest. When VK, he looked at me a little different, and he was like, hey, bro, whatever you need, I got you. He's been with the team since day one. I also have another producer signed right now out of Orlando, Florida. His name is XUL. He's the hottest producer in South Florida right now. I'm telling you, Immortal, this kid is amazing. My last signee right now is another producer out of Tennessee, up and coming. He goes by the name of Mr. V Productions. He did work on my stuff. He actually produced the track me and VK did as well, called F the Law. He did several works with different Tennessee artists underground. He's up next as well. But that's all we got right now. It's just basically us killing the underground, man. Giving back to our day one cousins, as well as reaching out, like you say, going over the border, reaching out to my people up in Canada as well, man.
Hey man, and I gotta commend you for that, man. Like February's Finest Records is most definitely gonna blow up, man, because a lot of individuals they're going to underground music to listen to, man, because they're like a lot of these kids, man, they do like the skinny jean bubblegum crap, but us real hip hop fans, man, we can't fuck with it, so we're going right back to the underground, man, because that's where it seems everything is 100%.
Oh, absolutely, man. That's where you gonna get the real. I mean, again, the skinny jeans Instagram rap is cool, but when you want the real, I just broke up with my girl, or man, I'm in love, or I just had a child, or I just lost a loved one. Like when you need that real, you gonna go back to the underground. You gonna go to what hits you most. And that's when you go to a Dee Wile or a VK or a Willie G or anybody like that.
Oh, I most definitely agree, man. I don't even understand what half of these individuals even wear, man. Like pink latex and shit. They literally look like they look like a human condom. To be truthful with you.
I'm more than all for clout, man. Again, they do anything for clout, like Offset said.
I don't know, man. I'm the type of person, man, where I'm picky even picking out a winter coat, let alone walking down the street being able to wear a goddamn like a pink latex costume, man. I just sit back and be like, nah, fuck that, dude. Like, what is that?
Oh, come on, man. I mean, I'm simple as well. You'll catch me white tee, black tee, a throwback jersey every now and then, but you can't catch me in no designer brands and then like it's too much Instagram for me. I ain't with it.
I most definitely agree, man. All I have to say is two words to sum that up: self-respect, man. They gotta locate it and they gotta use it.
Man, you said something right there. Immortal self-respect. That's key. Free game.
It's true, man. Free game. They can chew it up, they can swallow it, or they can chew it up and spit it back in our face. But unfortunately, it's 2020, so it's probably gonna be number two.
Man, you preaching tonight, Immortal. Stop, man. Come on. They ain't ready for it.
You already know, man. People don't like the truth, bro. And speaking of the truth, man. Last year you actually released the EP "Play Cousins" with Willie G, man. I have to say that project is freaking phenomenal. I suggest everybody make sure you snag yourselves a copy and go check it out. But I have to ask you, what was it like working on that project together? And of course, man, where can people snag a copy?
Well, first and foremost, you can catch it on any streaming platform: Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, YouTube. If you want to download it as well, iTunes, Deezer. That project came together. Honest. First off, shout out my brother Willie G, man. That man, make sure y'all check out his new project as well. It just dropped. It's called Pain Therapy. So please make sure y'all go check that out. It's super dope. Me and him linked up just through the OG, man, Sky. He's kind of been somebody who's been putting major plays together with me in my career starting off. He also managed Willie as well. And me and Willie worked together on a song called 20 Questions on a project I did called A Quarter Ounce back in 2018. So he kind of heard that track and was like, yo, y'all sound dope together. Let's try to do a joint tape. I was with it. Willie was with it. I sent him 4 records. He sent me 4 records. And you had Play Cousins, man. Very slept on tape. If you haven't checked it out, please do so, man. We working on a part 2 right now. We actually just fighting some contract issues with that. But as soon as that's taken care of, y'all gonna get that probably 4/20 of 2021.
Hey, man, it sounds like 2021, man. You guys are dropping just hits after hits, man. It actually sounds like 2021 is going to be a good year for Dee Wile, man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Corona slowed everything down 2020, man. So you're going to get another project from me at the end of the year. You're going to get the project with me and VK. You're going to get the project with me and Willie G starting 2021. It's just, everything kind of just was a little bit delayed with this whole COVID-19.
Hey, man, I hope it's not true, man, but I heard stories that this COVID-19 bull crap, man, is going to be going on for another, like, 3 to 4 years, man. I really hope not, because I'm sick and tired of wearing a mask. I have to, but I don't like it.
Right. Now, you're not alone now, Mortar, bro. I'm right there with you. I'm ready to just set these masks on fire myself personally, bro. I think hopefully, by the top of 2021 and moving forward, they're able to find a vaccine or, even just everyday life is a little bit more adjusted to it for the most part. I hope it's not, back to where we have to lock everything down.
Oh, man, I second that. I really hope it doesn't come back to that, man, because artists like yourselves, man, a lot of you guys eat off concerts, man, so I already know that this COVID-19 is really hurting the music industry, man, so I really do hope just for the music industry side of things, man, that COVID does end soon, so talented individuals like yourselves can actually get back to touring and, doing shows.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, being independent, you do lose the upfront money, but also the back end royalties not being collected as well for the shows. It does play a part, but I mean, I think we're getting it right. Even down here in Florida, man, we just started getting the bars and everything back open, so I'm gonna start getting back on the road here shortly with this next project as well.
And also, man, your latest album is actually titled Too Much Game. I have to ask you, what's the story behind that amazing record? And again, man, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy? And also, do you have hard copies available for them old school listeners that still love the compact disc format?
Yeah, I do have hard copies available. They're going to be on the website here coming shortly. You will get the compact disc. It'll actually be signed from me personally. Thank you letter coming, just saying, I appreciate you supporting the movement. But if you know a streaming person, you got it on iTunes, you got it on Spotify, you got it on Tidal, just check it out right now. Too Much Game, the hottest mixtape in the streets out in Florida. It basically came together. It's a follow-up of Mortal to a project I had back in 2017, 2018, I believe, called Free Game. Anybody who know Dee Wile know that's the slogan, that's the movement, is free game, just me dropping knowledge, basically, low-hanging fruit. Hey, man, I can't keep this stuff to myself, so I got to pass it out, and the game is always free. So it's just a follow-up to Free Game. It's Too Much Game. The follow-up is coming available as well. More you gonna get the exclusive. The follow up, the trilogy. The title is gonna be Game Recognized Game. So you got it here first, man. Outlaw Radio.
Hey, man, you already know, and I appreciate that, fam. I really do. And speaking of a real dope track, man. Right after this interview, I'm gonna be playing one of your songs titled "Front of You," featuring Brienne and Martin. Martin, I have to ask you, man. Can you tell us a story behind that song? That way, when our listeners actually listen to it, they can get drawn into the song just a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Well, shout out to Brianna Martin first and foremost. A beautiful, incredible artist. It actually came together. We was in Sweet 16 Studios. I'm in Studio C. She's in Studio A, I believe. We just kind of crossed paths just in the hallway, listening to each other's sessions. She came into my session, so I heard me actually working on it, and she just laid the hook down right there for me, Immortal. Beautiful, talented artist. Y'all make sure y'all check her out as well. The track is basically just a love story. I mean, you got that person who, they trying with this person, that person, it ain't working, but you right there the whole time as a best friend, as a coworker, as a whatever. You just like, hey, you looking for Mr. Right, and I'm right here. I'm right in front of you.
And it sounds bad to say, man, a lot of girls are like that, man. They always want to go after the bad boys, and when there's actually a good guy that's really going to love them right in front of them, and they're like, we're just friends, and it's like, really? You going to pull that friend zone card on me there? Come on, girl.
Come on, exactly. I mean, you want the bad boy again with the Dracos and the tight jeans and the Instagram hair, and then you got the best friend is just the smoker, chilling, vibing, and I'm right here the whole time. I'm exactly what you're looking for, and you still don't want it. You know how it is, Immortal.
Oh, man, before I got married, man, I dealt with that quite a few times, man. So, but being married is most definitely a blessing, man. But back when I was single, man, I got friend zoned more than I can count.
You good. You found your queen.
Hey, man, most definitely. But everybody that is listening, if you're on that friend zone tip, man, we feel you. You know what I mean? We know what you're going through. But at the end of the day, man, we salute you for sticking by it and trying, man, because you never know. Keep trying, man. Don't give up.
Hey, exactly. Yeah, Immortal didn't give up. He found his queen. You keep shooting, and you're going to find your queen as well.
And, man, I got to ask you there, Dee Wile, what's next for you, man? Is there anything I missed during this interview? Anything else you still want to promote? We still have you here live on Outlaw Radio FM.
Well, actually, yeah, we dropping new merch. That's the last thing, man. We got these exclusive F2 lighters coming out. I'm actually going to be dropping a promo video here within the next month on my social media. But super dope merch. Also, again, the next project is Game Recognized Game. It's dropping Thanksgiving for you, Immortal.
Hey, man, most definitely, dude. You know what? Thanksgiving. I don't know if you know this, but Thanksgiving in Canada is actually on the 12th of October, man. So you know what I mean.
Oh,
I most definitely will be blaring some music and partying. You know, American Thanksgiving. You know what I mean. I most definitely will
yeah.
listen to some Dee
My
Wile.
bad, bro. American Thanksgiving, November 25th, I believe it is, in 2020. I have to double check that, but last Thursday in November for you guys.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna be honest with you, man. It's actually confusing, man. Because for the longest time I literally did not know that there was two separate Thanksgivings, man. I don't think I figured it out until I think it was like a couple of years ago, and it blew my mind.
Hey, man, I always try to learn something new every day, so you just taught me something new because I had no idea.
Hey man, you already know, man. But you know what? It's actually not too bad, you know, because if you literally have dual citizenship, you get to enjoy turkey not once but twice in one
Man,
month. So
that's crazy.
people got to look at it like that.
Well, you guys got Thanksgiving coming, like right now, bro. After early Thanksgiving.
Hey man, I thank you. I appreciate that, man. I really do. But D, while this is the time in the interview, man, that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to, and of course, man, your social media handles. That way, our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you guys are doing if they're not already doing so.
Oh, for sure. Well, you can check me out on my Facebook, Dee Wile, Deewile. Also, my Instagram, Dee Wile Sativa. Snapchat, Dee Wile 17. Subscribe to my YouTube as well. Again, at any crazy video dropping this Saturday, it's Dee Wile again, of course. If you need any other contact information, just Google your play cousin, Dee Wile. I'm guaranteed to pop up. First and foremost, shout out God. None of this is possible without him. Shout out to all of my day one cousins. Shout out to all of the up and coming artists as well doing their thing. Shout out to all of the fans listening worldwide. Whether you stream Too Much Game one time or you got it in your playlist every day, I really appreciate it and salute you. Shout out to you as well, Immortal, for having me tonight, man. It's been a pleasure just vibing with you. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to my F2 team, VKX, Mr. V, man. My family, everybody, man. Thank y'all.
And I gotta say, D, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening and coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM, man. It truthfully was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man. And when your next project drops, make sure you hit me up, man, and we'll definitely get you back on for round two.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Thank you for having me again. It was a pleasure.
You're most certainly welcome, man. Have yourself a wonderful night and most definitely stay safe out there.
As well. God bless, man.